let's start with the Sun Belt Championship on Friday. We got a pretty decent spread here, and it makes sense. This is a James Madison team that's really good. They're good at running the ball. Their defense is pretty good. This Troy team may be in for a little bit of a whooping here. Minus 23 is a monster spread, especially when the over-under is only at 47.5. Books are telling us a story. Do you agree with them?
Yeah, I mean, to your point on just the spread in total, it always makes it a little bit tricky when the spread is, pretty much half the total. It makes it kind of a difficult handicap. But you can see why. JMU sitting at 11-1. They got college football playoff aspirations here. It's going to be tough for them to make it in. It's not impossible. If they absolutely blow out Troy, they might have a shot to get in. I think for the Dukes, it's going to be tough, though. Some of it being the Troy Trojans here. First off, we got to talk about the ultimate equalizer. Looking at the point spread here, it's minus 22.5 at Hard Rock. It's as high as minus 23.5 at DraftKings. So we can call it minus 23 as the consensus line, but you can shop around for the best number. And looking at the Duke side, JMU here, their only loss of the season at Louisville, what was that, week 2? The game was 28-14. I watched every play of that game. It was a lot closer than the 2-touchdown final. And this is a team, you got to love their profile. If you've watched football for years, like we both have, they got the number 5 total defense, the number 6 rushing offense. So a team that can really run the ball and play good defense, those teams tend to cash tickets. This team has averaged, 240 yards rushing a game. And over the last 6 games, yes, they're 6-0, but they've almost 3-1 outscored their opponent. 291 points scored, only 110 points given up the last half of the season. So this is a tough team to go against. Now, bringing up the ultimate equalizer, this is a big point spread, and JMU has somewhat of a quote-unquote lame duck head coach situation. Bob Chesney took the head coaching job at UCLA. However, not like Lane Kiffin leaving. He did not get all the fanfare, the media attention. He's also coaching this team in the championship game, possibly if they make the college football playoff. Again, an outside shot. He would continue coaching them as well. He's a great coach here. The problem with laying the big number, as high as 23.5, is Troy has very quietly cashed some tickets. You go over the last season and a half, they're 12-6 their last 18 games against the spread. This is a team that lost their starting quarterback, a pretty good hurler back there in Crowder for a couple months this season. The backup came in, did a pretty good job as well. I actually think this is a game with so much on the line. A lot of people are going to be looking to bet JMU. I just think running up the score is going to be tough to do against a Troy team that I think is going to be able to score some points. And not to mention last is it's 30 degrees projected in Harrisonburg, Virginia. It's not exactly, high scoring weather out there. I think it's more of a grind it out. I think it ends up maybe 35-14. JMU wins by margin. However, I don't think they win by enough. I'm going to take Troy plus the points. We'll put the 23.5 in our pocket on the Trojans here in the Sun Belt Championship game, Andy.
All right, taking every single one of those 23 points. All right, I like it. Bold stance there. Let's move to Jacksonville State and Kennesaw State. I'll be honest, I don't know many things about these two teams. Pretty close spread here. Kennesaw State minus 2.5, over under 60. Tell us what you know about these teams and what could we expect from this game.
Sure, Andy. I don't think a lot of people do. When you talk about college football here and Conference USA, it is just a conference that I don't think a lot of people follow. And to tell you the truth, the Sun Belt and Conference USA are the two conferences I probably follow the most. I just think it's one of those things in terms of market dynamics. There's not as many eyeballs on it, so it makes it a less efficient marketplace. And the sports books have to put out sides and totals on all of these games. So I've had a lot of success this year in terms of betting these two conferences, particularly in Conference USA. Now, this is Kennesaw State at Jacksonville State, Amherst Stadium, Jacksonville, Alabama. Always important to kind of where is the game? Some of these games are at neutral sites. Some of them, particularly the small conferences, are at the home of, the higher ranked team. These two teams come in both 7-1 in the conference. And they played just a couple weeks ago on November 15th. And that game ended up 35-26 with Jacksonville State winning the game. That's why it's in Jacksonville, Alabama. However, Kennesaw, right outside of Atlanta, it's not a tough trip for Kennesaw State to make this. And Jerry Mack has done a great job with Kennesaw State, kind of quietly. You know, they're kind of a suburb of Atlanta, and it's almost one of these things. I talked about it last week on Drew's Daily Diamond Show on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, in terms of they've done a great job of recruiting these kids in this area of the country. Like if you're not signing with Alabama or Georgia or Auburn or one of the ACC schools, something like that, or a Big Ten team doesn't come and poach you out of here. Kennesaw State's grabbed up a bunch of these guys, really good football players, very athletic team, good defensive nose team. This is a really good Kennesaw State if you watch them play. Just look at their schedule. The first 2 games of the season, they lost to Wake Forest by 1 point. They lost to Indiana as well, and they've won 9 of 10 games since. I already talked about them losing to Jacksonville State. However, if you look under the hood there, Kennesaw State outgained Jacksonville State. They put up 580 yards of offense in that game. There's actually over 1,100 yards total. So you could look towards the total in this game over 60. I'm going side, though, because, again, the weather. Check the weather here, guys, for these outdoor games. It's mid-40s. There's rain forecasted. That's what's going to keep me off the over. But you go back to that first game, Kennesaw State quarterback Odom, he's a dual threat guy. He can run around. He had 3 interceptions. They lost the turnover battle, -3. I think that was the difference in the game. I don't necessarily think that happens again. And this is a Jacksonville State team that, yes, obviously making it to the Conference USA Championship game, a good season overall, you know, just a year or 2 after Rich Rod leaves. Charles Kelly's done a great job here. But they've played, 5 straight games, single-digit outcomes. And actually 9 of the 11 games they played this season against FBS competition, 9 of 11, 10 points or less in the final score. So they've played a lot of close competition games to get here. Again, guys, I go back to the mid-40s, rain in the forecast. Kennesaw State is the better athletic team under a field goal. I think Kennesaw State wins the Conference USA Championship game. I think they do so by more than a field goal. So we're going to go Kennesaw State here, -2.5 on the Owls. -2.5 on Kennesaw State.
Oh, wow. Oh, you didn't tell me there were sound effects involved in your picks today. All right, next week, give Drew some really insane mascots that he has to try and make some sounds for. You open Pandora's box with that one, Drew. We got you covered, man.
Yeah, it's really just the owl thing, though, Andy. I don't want to get set up for failure here. I mean, the owl is a great animal, and if you've ever heard him at night making that sound, it's pretty cool.
Drew, I know that you've got bowl games, but you also have a 5% best bet that's coming up very soon. So tell us about that and what people can expect from your plays in bowl season.
Yeah, another conference that I follow really closely, the MAC conference. And, if you go over all of the college football conferences and you rank them kind of bottom to top, I would probably go MAC conference as the bottom. Conference USA is the kind of second to bottom, and then there's really a wide range until the next conference. So sometimes, the MAC conference, Conference USA, that's really where I focus on to get that inefficiency. And sure enough, the 5% max limit is in the MAC championship game going early on Saturday. So got that up and available. We'll have some more plays in college football, NFL as well, and college basketball. Getting going as well this week. So, great time to get. I heard you talking before about different, specials up and available. So if you're looking for the discounts, multiple plays for multiple days, that's probably the way to go. So, Andy, it's been a great run, since early September, hitting over 60%. So just keep grinding away here, finding winners, man. And again, championship weekend with so many sports going on. Great time to be a sports bettor.
All right. I mean, they're already coming in. Gamecocks. We got some really good ones.
I'd have to practice a little bit, but the Gamecock one would be good.
Drew Martin, thank you so much for joining us on Wednesdays. Absolutely fantastic edition, giving you all the college football breakdowns. And yes, he's got a 5% best bet that comes up later this week. Thank you very much, Drew. Good luck on that 5%. Let's keep cashing and continued run in the MAC conference. So.